today we are starting our first unit in STEAM. So we're going to start making and creating and learning and doing some awesome things together. So today you get to meet a friend of mine. His name is Larry. You may have saw him last year in kindergarten. But now you get to work with him because this is Larry the Lion. Okay? And he is a friend of mine. And we have a little kind of song or rhyme that we like to go through together so we can learn about lines. Okay? So Larry the Lion is a friend of mine. He can make 3 straight lines. They are vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. Okay, now I want you to go back and I want you to try those again. Say them with me. Vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. Okay, so those are the 3 directions of lines. So those are very important to know. Larry can also make a squiggly line, or he can make a zigzag line, or he can make all kinds of lines. Whatever kind of line you can dream up, Larry and other lines can make. And the reason it's so important that we learn about line is the first step, the first piece of learning about art, which is one of our STEAM letters. So this is beginning a big art unit for us to work on together. Okay? So for our lines, like I said, you can draw. And I'm using a digital drawing. I am hoping you're going to use the paper I gave you, the little papers to make your plan, and then the bigger paper to make your final one. So when you're making lines, you can make them straight. Oh, I want my line tool again. You can make them straight lines. You can make them vertical. Remember that word? Or you can make a horizontal line. Or you can make a diagonal line. Now, I want you to notice right here, I'm starting to make pieces in here, like shapes. So those areas are kind of closed off, and they'll be really cool later so I can add color. We can also using my scribble tool, we can make squiggly lines, and we can make like a stair line. Ooh, here's one I haven't talked about yet. I want to just continue my squiggle just a smidge because that's going to drive Mrs. Roberts crazy. See, this is why it'll be so much better and easier with pencil. So there's my squiggly line, and then you can make a swirly line. And you can make a, so I made my zigzag as kind of a stair line, but you could make a big zigzag. But these are all lines, and they work to create an artwork. And what will be really cool as we work on this is you'll be able to use all these areas to switch colors and turn it into a masterpiece. Okay? So today, I want you to start practicing with line, okay? So we're going to start with a small piece of paper. And I want you to try out different lines. If you do this before our live meet, maybe you can try out some new lines that you can tell me about. But I want you to use your small pieces of paper that I gave you to start practicing line. Now, once you have an idea of what you want to make on the big paper, using all lines, you can then put your design on the big paper, but you have to keep it with pencil, okay? Later, we're going to come back to this next week, and we're going to be able to use other things on it, but this week I only want it drawn with pencil with no color yet. No color. Now, I said yet, so we will get to that, but right now, no color, okay? We're just trying it out. And we're practicing with the little pieces, and then we can get the bigger piece to draw more carefully. Now, that is like our first draft because we'll keep working on this. The small papers are our very first draft. Then our bigger paper is going to be our final draft. So make sure you're being very careful on that big paper. Now, if for any reason you don't have your STEAM supplies that your parents could pick up at school, you can use any kind of paper you have, or you can always make it on Google Drawings or on the Seesaw drawing tool if that is easier for you. But it's whatever works best for you. And keep in mind, whatever your first draft is, your second draft should look just like it. And also keep in mind that I hope you really like your first draft because, like I said, we're going to keep working on this. So if you don't like it, try again. Keep going until your first draft is exactly the way you like it, and then move on to your second draft. I hope this makes sense. Larry and I will be very excited to see your first drafts and when you get a chance to post them to Seesaw. And I'm so excited to go on this line art journey with you. Have a great Tuesday.